Should be an enthralling duel. The umpires tonight, Vozzo, McBurney and Pennell, and away we go. Hampson wins it down. Spills from Gibbs, comes wide, taken by Murphy. Kicks inside the forward 50, off hands. Opportunity for Graham, slips a hand pass away. Hudson dropped the football, but it's going to be a free kick, and it's going to Graham. Greg was the man who got it out of the middle with a hand pass, but it will be repulsed here by the Saints. Graham just lays it off. Del Santo cruises past, chips it outside the defensive 50. Hayes a little untidy. Del Santo had to reach back and grab it. Drives to the outer side. Gardner back in the action. Hits it hard.
Thought he was pretty stiff there, Fev. It was a good first up tackle. Always good to get your hands around the opposition body early in the game, but penalised.
So Gardner back to another man who's back in the team along with Gardner this week, Gilbert. Those ins are pretty impressive, aren't they? Gilbert and Milne and Gardner. Now Hodgson, just his second game for the season. Most experienced and the oldest player out there tonight, Dawson. Goes back to Hodgson, to Jones, to Hodgson. Well, got a slightly high one from Favola. Didn't matter. That's a terrible kick by Maxey. Cut off by Austin. He quickly gets on. Does Fev get a free kick?
Same umpire. Keep going, Fev.
He got a lot of free kicks at the Gabba last Saturday night. I've got a feeling he might have got his month's quota.
Have a look where he lands here. Right on his head.
Up to the boundary, throw in. About 20 metres out from goal. Betts threads a hand pass intended for Greg. Murphy over the football. Jones on his knees. In trouble, Blake. He went to ground. Hayes is in there as well. Montagna did nicely. Across to Graham with the outside of the boot. Missed on the outer side by Milne. All Carlton at the back. A fumble came from Joseph. Gave it to Simpson. Across to O'Halpin, who lines up at goal. Judd lurking behind. Knocked away by his teammate. Across the line. Behind.
Bright start by St Kilda there, actually. We're just probably a high arm if the umpire saw the view that we took, but it's been a good effort by Carlton to hem St Kilda in for this first minute or two.
So Blake to Fisher. Been playing it in the back half at the moment, the Saints. Now they might get forward. Montagna's run from Graham. What a season he's having. Revolt pushed underneath it. Should have got a free kick. Milne, brilliant. Handball on. Does it sit for Schneider? It does. They get the first goal against the run of play.
Yeah, good call, Bruce. If you can have a run of play in 2.5 minutes, but it has been. They've been on their back foot the whole of the first couple of minutes of the match, and first time they've actually been able to find a free player in Graham, and then they got a quick handball on, and then they've been moving the ball so quickly with ball in hand when they get the chance, and that was brilliant play by the St Kilda team to get through the Carlton defence, because it's been good.
Adam Schneider, point-blank range, made his debut for Sydney against Carlton. Round 1, 2003, and his first opponent was Skinny Lappin. Ross Lyon has a perfect record against the Blues. After the bounce, Jones had the football, went nowhere. Ditto Judd, down he went. Jones a second chance, prods it forward, down towards half forward. Milne's over the football. Joseph put him down. Relished the opportunity to go again. Bit of business being done in there. It's like Wisteria Lane, a bit happening. Ball inside the forward 50, reaching over the top. Bauer got it on the deck, and it's going to be a free kick, and it will go to St Kilda.
On my side, it's definitely high contact. Thanks, Nick. 50 metres as well. Nick! Straight to McQuarter. McQuarter's kicking 50 metres off the ball. Let's go.
Umpire Vozzo, the master of the 50, gave 3 last week. He's on a roll. I reckon umpire Vozzo may just head into the crowd and add another 50. McWalter gets the goal.
Yes, it certainly changed in 30 or 40 seconds. Carlton's aggression, and that was certainly a high tackle. It was going to be a long shot at goal. I don't know whether we'll actually see the incident that created the 50-metre penalty, but it's a very severe price to pay.
That contact was as much by Maguire on Grigg as it was on Grigg on Maguire, but you get rewarded when you put your body on the line and you're prepared to put your head over it.
So the Saints get the 2. Maguire's kicked 10 goals in 12 games this year. He kicked 7 in his previous 35. And he's having a breakout season. Schneider to Goddard. Run down by Simpson and then taken down, and then Goddard unhappy, and you don't blame him. Baker's kick, front spot bow, good mark on Revolt. Goddard got decked.
It's a good tackle.
Here's Grigg to Armfield. Oh, in hot water. Murphy was a poor handball to him. Milne's been busy early. Ball still, but he won. Milne goes to ground. Jones, I think, in there.
No, he didn't drag it in. It just fell under his legs. You just threw your arms
When I
up.
say good tackle, it was a good solid tackle. Definitely head first. But that looked like one motion to me, and there's been an issue about the 2 motions.
He lay motionless for quite a while.
Yeah, there was only one motion after that.
I think it highlights one of the only ways. If you tackle an opponent and you pick his arms, you can still bury him head first in the turf legally. For now, year or two's time, I'm not sure whether you'll be able to do that.
If you're coaching, his header was terrific. Here's Schneider going at his second. He's got it. What a start. Schneider.
Carlton's physicality has been okay, but St Kilda have been able to, they've won a couple of clearances, but they've been able to actually be in front and move first to the ball. They've actually made the ball their focus, where it looks to me like Carlton have made the man the focus.
Well, it's bang, bang, bang. Carlton had the ball in there for that first minute or two, but couldn't score. That's what St Kilda have been doing, stopping the opposition scoring, and then with a few entries, 3 goals.
Clinton Jones has gone to Murphy. We see Brendan Goddard there on the bench. He looks okay. They just checked his shoulder. There's Clinton Jones. He's had the last 2 clearances. This time Murphy won't start in the centre square, so he won't go in there either, but he's been productive around the stoppages.
And those 3 goals coming from 9 disposals for the Saints. So it's happened quickly, hasn't it? Gilbert to Hayes. What a month Lenny Hayes has had. Here's Revolt. First good look at it. Careful kick to his mate Kaczynski.
Just so clean with their disposal.
And then Cozzy with a low raker, but he was off the back foot, so he's always going to have trouble getting it to the green. Now Brown's kick out wide. Good effort in the front there from Dal Santo, and then Ray back to Dal Santo, who cleverly got it to Kaczynski on the wrong side for him, but he pumps it back. Gardner and Revolt, and Nick has got it.
They just look like a team to me. They're super confident in each other. Their skills are brilliant. They're all running to the right spots. They're working hard for each other. They're playing a role. They definitely have some synergy going, and they're going to be hard to stop.
I reckon, Bucks, they're relishing the challenge, don't you? Big stage on a Friday night, and they've kicked 4 in a hurry.
Yes, I think we've seen 2 contests where Rewald was against Bauer. One just earlier, Bauer just jumped a little early, so Rewald couldn't jump at the footy. If Rewald is able to reach up at his full extension height like that, well, Bauer's just going to be far, far too short. So that ability to jump a little bit early to stop Rewald from reaching is going to be critical for Carlton.
Obviously, the Saints learned from North Melbourne last week. North got the first 5 goals against them. Hard to believe. Half-time. Looks a long way away right now. Needs to regroup. Cruises on the ground. Dug out of the middle towards half forward by Del Santo. This is McAvoy. Got a hand pass away. Graham's in trouble. Got a boot to ball. Everything working out for them, though. It went at right angles to ball. Ball got up from Blake. Blake across towards support there, and Jones back to Blake, and now Montagna. It's happening quickly. in the twinkling of an eye. They're towards half forward once again, but that's an ill-directed kick, and Austin gets across and takes the mark.
Austin, the late inclusion, coming in for Thornton.
Hold it.
So the cruiser has started on the interchange. They went with Hampson first up. That was an ambitious kick, really. Schneider versus Armfield. Armfield doing well to paddle forward, running hard. Houlihan goes back to Judd. Interested to see that Judd's stats against the Saints are not as impressive as against other teams. Houlihan's kick into a hot spot. Gilbert attacked it. Ray on the up. McAvoy to Baker. He's often had the job, and Judd in the past. Ball pirouetting. Back to Baker. Favola runs him down. Good pressure. Dawson. Clever handball. He was leg Gilbert.
Just below tackle. Just got him round the ankle. Thanks, Brendan.
How good is their ball control? They're under a fierce pressure there by Carlton. They were able to take tackles at times, use their spare player at times, and at no stage they looked like they were going to spill the ball.
Goddard back on the ground, got it from Hudson, bounces one beyond the wing. Geary didn't quite know where it was. Montagna did. Milne somehow, it takes a deflection, but it finished up where he wanted it. McWalter back to Goddard, spots a big man moving down there, taken by Kazetsky at close quarters, gave it to McAvoy. McAvoy's hand pass across to Ray, long towards full forward, holding. I thought it might have been bad news for Carlton. Kazetsky and Revolt in a pack is not good for the opposition.
Yes, I think we spoke earlier in the game about Carlton's tall defence standing up fairly well this last couple of months, but tonight against Rewald, Skuzitsky hasn't joined in just yet, but they look very small and undermanned down there.
Nick Revolt at his second kicks truly.
As you see here, Lee Montagna on the boundary line. They've been battered and bruised, St Kilda, but they've got the reward for it. It's a fine line between putting that body pressure on and giving the free kick away.
Clear hold of the arm, isn't it?
And allowing a free jump. I mean, we saw, I reckon, the contest earlier that Rewald took the mark. He really should have put a little bit more body pressure on, but that time it was too much. It really is a fine line. When you come up against a good player like that, they make you make mistakes.
McWalter gave it across to Dawson. That was after Hampson won the tap. It's taken by Graham. A looping hand pass down the line. Blake in trouble. Missed Hayes. Coming through was Grigg. Well, Brown decided to go. Ran into an opponent immediately. Judd finding some space where there was none. Feeds it back to Gibbs. Gibbs across the ground. Now a chance for Simpson. Here comes Favola. They've got to go to him. Hands to it. Hudson was there. Bets the crumb. Open square. Bounces a couple of times and goes through for a goal.
Well, Carlton have done pretty well. They've stabilised general play. They've gone forward 3 or 4 times in the last 5 minutes, and they've been able to get a score on the board. And Chris Judd, as you said, Dan, finding space where there was none, and getting the hands in some dangerous ball users. Gibbs and then Simpson. This kick a little bit up, but something out of nothing here from Eddie Betts.
Well, Betts was the other surprise starting interchange. Dennis mentioned Cruiser. It's been sharp Betts. He's now got 26 goals for the season, 13-4 from snaps. 26 is a career high for him in any 1 year. He's been very good tonight, 4 disposals. It's been 9 minutes since St Kilda got that 5th goal. They got those 5 goals in 9 minutes, by the way. So Carlton stabilising for the moment. I say for the moment because Del Santo combines with another nick. The captain, Revolt.
Just becomes a massive headache when a bloke's that good one-on-one with space. Do you drop a man off through the midfield, and then you know that their midfield's that good that they can expose you with that extra number every time.
But they're going to get killed in the air if they don't do something about their tall defenders.
29 goals, 13 from set shots, including the couple tonight. And that one, we saw the end result. He kicked it beautifully. He's a magnificent footballer. Has he ever been in, or here's a turnover opportunity. I'll get back to that. Ball to Kazitsky, and he misses. Is this as good as Revolt's been, do you reckon?
Oh yeah, I don't think he's played any better than I've seen him play for most of this season. His movement for a guy, he's 193 centimetres in the footy record, but I think he's a bit taller than that. He's the same height as Bow according to the footy record, but I think he just looks so much taller, and he's got that upward extension when he reaches.
Saw Jamison going over Kosicki's leg there. Kosicki seems to be okay. Coming up 6 goals last week. There's a man mountain against North, close to the boundary line. Hampson can't complete the mark, so it will be thrown in.
I reckon he'd have a little bit of a corky just on top of the left knee there. It smashed into that contest.
Brett Ratton hasn't won against the Saints. Murphy had the footy, lost it. Bannister's in there, claimed by Ball. And the umpire will do the business again, just outside the 50. Maybe the thinking, I was sort of thinking out loud before with Cruiser, maybe the thinking is to try and run them off their legs in the second half if you happen to be around and close. Ball on the wing, opportunity for Garlett, gets through. Garlett outside the 50. Again that vacant square, this time it stops like a wedge to the green. Hudson, beautiful clearing kick. Montagna, runners inside, uses the man closest to him as a decoy. That was Geary, has a couple of bounces, runs beyond the wing, kicks inside the forward 50. Target is Revolt. Bauer this time fights a draw, and that's good enough.
Well, isn't he going to? He's going to just to test the rules, isn't he, Bauer? Just to be able to have that contact so he doesn't get free kick, but not allow him to reach up high.
So Brown, Schneider down low. He's had a terrific opening turn. Hayes and Simpson. Simpson did well not to give the free kick away. We saw a little cameo from Garland a moment ago. Maybe in the end the wrong decision to kick, but gee, he could break a line, can't he?
Got some speed.
His tackling was a feature last week against Brisbane in the forward 50 for the Blues. It was very important. Judd's free kick. Working hard, the captain.
Remember there was a question mark about the 4 rookies for Carlton at the end of the NAB Cup. There was Garlett, Joseph,
Yaron.
Robinson and Bentley, and the big ruckman was the other one, Jacobs. And they went with Garlett and they went with Joseph, and both of them playing tonight, and both of them had a very big impact for Carlton throughout the season.
Off the rookie list.
Yes.
Yep, with you now. And Joseph hasn't missed a match. There's Simpson. Well, the last 10 minutes has been all right for the Blues. A lot of damage done on the board. If they could get one more and hold St Kilda, I reckon they'd just about take that. But that might be a little ambitious right now, but here they come. Simpson, good kick. I've loved Betts tonight again. I reckon he's been as sharp as they come. Carazzo, Hurlihan and Favola. Well done though by Fisher.
Ironically, I reckon if they're under pressure at centre-half back, it's nearly better for them because it'll draw the St Kilda defence to that part of the ground. They're actually probably going to open up their attack a little bit more.
Gardner knocked it down. Murphy, did he have the football? Belated whistle.
Murphy's good. Look out the ball.
Darren Ray believes that the umpire was right. A nod of the head. What did Rumpole say? Never plead guilty. So Murphy will kick from about 52 metres. 32 plays 8, approaching quarter time.
Not sure if he's got the journey in him.
We're about to find out. Better now than later. Runs right to the 50. Gives it a ride. Good looking kick. It's home. They needed that one.
Interesting manning of the mark for that kick. He seemed to allow Murphy, I'm not sure who was on the mark. Was it Farron Ray who was actually on the mark? But on his approach,
didn't move across,
we see the free kick, but he allowed Murphy to just come inside and get slightly inside the 50-metre line. That extra yard or two makes a fair difference to the long-range accuracy. They've got to hang in there, Carlton.
So Murphy's goal, 15. Ginny Pratt there, made a patron of the club tonight, along with Mike Fitzpatrick, the chairman of the commission on the right, a Carlton premiership captain, and Sticks in the middle, Stephen Kernahan, and president of the club. So the Blues doing okay, doing very well in the last 10 minutes. They were under siege for much of this first quarter, but Revolt finds McWalter, and McWalter inside to Graham, back turns cleverly and rolls it home. That hurts.
They're just scoring so easily, St Kilda, really. I mean, the scoreboard we know is all that matters. It's a 4-goal margin, but Carlton are certainly doing everything else right, but just the ability of St Kilda to get through the Carlton defence is the aspect of the game that is clearly the big margin, and Carlton just have to try and ignore the scoreboard. So we're not playing too bad. We've just got to keep hanging in there, keep persevering.
Just over 2.5 minutes out from quarter time. Matthew Cruiser back on the ground now. He's played 11 minutes. Hampson, yet to have a possession, is off the ground. McAvoy goes against Cruiser, who wins it decisively, but straight down to Del Santo, who kicks it to half forward. Armfield got a fist on it, taken by Bannister, who's grabbed immediately, and the umpire will call for it. Interesting, all of that. I'm really confused about what Carlton are trying to achieve there, but if you're a ruckman, it's certainly a good time to play against St Kilda. I'm sure Ross Lyon has told Michael Gardner all week, don't do anything silly. So tonight, at least, Michael likely to be a sheep in sheep's clothing. We've got a bounce right on the 50. And the margin 6-2 to 2-2. You think about the sides that got early goals last week, North and Geelong. Of course, North lost. Geelong sat back on that lead. Sometimes it's not that good to get the big lead early. Here's Geary after a chain of hand passes. Gunnerwood's full forward. Revolt was up. Bauer at the back comes away. Austin kept his nerve. Bauer kept it in front. Gets it outside the 50. Kozetsky, wonderful effort by the big man. Dragged down, kept it alive. Cruiser knocks it forward. Down goes McAvoy. Cruiser ties him up. Wonderful by every player involved that time, for no result.
And Carlton are trying to get Mark Austin back to be the third or the spare tall player in that marking zone for St Kilda.
It's good stuff, wasn't it?
Play on. Got hold of his arm, Jason Graham's got hold of his arm. Right here, yeah. Got hold of his arm all through the contest.
Graham's been an important player in this opening term, coming up for his 9th disposal. He's kicked a goal. Back to Dawson. Now Dawson's got McAvoy down the line, and he's got him.
It's actually a very good disposal of the ball, Zach Dawson. He's got a powerful leg, and often finds those long targets very well.
So Milne on the burst, and then Revolt. That's good, clean footy.
Trying this ball. It's a mark. Hey, Nick, mark all free kick.
Confidence is a magnificent thing. We see it in Geelong the last year or two, and St Kilda have certainly got it.
5 metres.
This last couple of months, they just use the ball so quickly. They don't think, they just use first option, first handball, first kick, move the ball really quickly.
You love to be a forward playing in front of that, don't you? Because you could see Revolt then, he went before the play had even turned, and his opponent had no chance.
So Revolt looking good. He's kicked 3 first-term goals, Big Nick. I reckon Nick might have said to the umpire to mark, he said, mark all free kick. It's better on the stat sheet to mark it.
That's right. I think he just he controlled it just momentarily, which is all you need to do. But just the way Milne come back inside, Rewald knew what he was going to do and started to come into that space.
2 score assists for Milne tonight. Handball to Schneider earlier.
Yep.
Beautiful pass then to Revolt.
Only the second time in his 59 games for Ross Lyon that his Saints have had a 7-goal term. Margin out to 30 now. What do you do in that situation? There's the bounce. Off the ball, Gibbs went down. He's been quiet. Hayes got it from Goddard. Kicks it down towards half forward. Dying seconds of the term. Going to ground Austin. Cruiser. That was clever. The kick inside the forward 50. Dawson had it knocked away. Getting through is Garland. This could be some finish for the quarter. Goes for the outside of the boot and puts it through.
Well, the little cameo turned into something a bit better again. He's got something, hasn't he?
He did. He certainly hasn't got bulk, as we can see on screen there, but he's got speed and agility, and
skill.
Really, for bowlers, just looks so much like a one-man forward line recently. Now they've got Garland, who looks a chance, Bett looks a chance, and Houlihan, who's always a chance of kicking a goal. So at least they've got a few potential goal kickers now deep forward.
And the other thing with this match up here, Garlett, fantastic goal there and skill to finish off, but he doesn't, I mean, we all know about Stephen Baker, but he hasn't been bitten by Baker yet, so he'll play with a little bit of youthful exuberance, and you'll find out in about 10 minutes what it's like to play on him, though.
Do you ever recover from a Baker bite?
No.
Judd from Gibbs. Baker going hard at it. Well, what an entertaining opening turn. 10 goals scored. The Saints got 5 of their goals in a 9-minute burst. The Blues picked them back a bit, and then Revolt added a third to the 2 that he got earlier. But that late one from Garlett gives them a bit of hope, doesn't it? It's a 4-goal game at quarter time, a long way to go. It's 7-2 to 3-2. This is Friday Night Footy.
There's the bounce. Wide of the pack, a chance for Bannister, left it behind. Griggs got it. Posse behind him. Carranzo in the opposite direction. Brown under the pump. Del Santo stolen away by Brown. Grigg at close quarters gives it to Judd. Judd, not a good kick down towards half forward. Runs on. Coming up the ground. Dawson slipped over in the opposite direction. Satantaro Halpin into the path of Simpson. And Gilbert was a little unlucky there. Eyes only for the footy, and it bounced up at about shoulder height of his opponent.
He fell over after I took the hand off. Yeah, I know, but you still grabbed him high and actually pulled him back. Mark's there.
It's good civil discussion. No 50s there.
Nice. Seems a very nice boy, Sam Gilbert, the young man from Coolangatta. We had him on the radio last week. Oh, that's a free kick. What are you talking about, committee, you idiot?
I was going to say.
Well, I'm glad I did it for you. I'm far gentler.
Still in it, you're right.
Simpson from 40 metres out, puts it through. Great start for the Blues.
It's when Judd got the ball, he scrubbed the kick towards centre forward, and it looked like St Kilda here were about to take possession a little bit before that. He was always going to try and come inside because he's such a left foot dominated, left-sided player, Simpson, and just errant hands, a big penalty for a very minor contact, but that's the rules.
They were really clever. I reckon they didn't go to Dawson on the tackle. Actually, he had no play, Dawson. He had tapped it forward and they were able to grab it. So 2 goals in a minute for the Blues. Stephen Silvani and Robert Harvey, of course, 2 of the greats for these clubs, but now on opposite sides in their coaching careers. Just one of the little ironies about this blockbuster tonight. So they got that late goal and that early goal. So the scoreboard tightens again. But Judd, very good. It's one of those nights you feel like Judd has to play ugly a bit tonight, early on at least.
Well, there's going to be a lot of hard ball to be won. We saw Hayes went in there and won the courage contest, and then Judd trumped him on that occasion.
Gardner won the tap. Carranzo. So the Blues getting a bit of the ball. Scotland caught there. And now Grigg on the burst. Fev almost getting a crack at it. Houlihan, Betts and Baker, and now Goddard pushing forward. Favola, well done. So couldn't quite get a clean handball, but Betts in good nick. Couldn't quite get the kick away. Now Gilbert, can they hurt them? It looks like they might.
Whoops, Gardner had to stretch, and as a result finished up on the deck to Montagna. The build-up was slow, but it doesn't matter. This man is getting away. Looks inside the forward, 50 grand. Oh, how good was the pass?
Very good, Dan. He's been brilliant. We saw there, you should never take your eyes on the ball, but Scotland recovered there to be able to get that handball away. And how's the hands by Stephen Baker there just to knock that handball away? It's the little things in the game that make all the difference.
Graham comes in and gets his second.
So Well, therein really lies the difference in the game. It's just St Kilda's ability to convert from these half chances coming forward, whether it was Rewald who just read the kick off Montagne's boot just a little bit better, then saw there was a player in the better position in Graham. So they just look so much more effective than Carlton inside that forward third.
East Scotland had a fumble in the first quarter which cost Carlton a goal. He had another fumble there at half back, and he's just gotten off the phone now to Brett Ratton, so he was dragged straight from the ground, maybe just a little bit about his concentration.
Hayes out of the centre, gets the clearance, Rewald again.
Well, I asked earlier before the game whether the champion was going to be able to find a way. Well, Carlton actually haven't been able to close his space down at all, and from this centre clearance, even with St Kilda's structure intact and a couple of other forwards lined up at the top of the 50 that actually move up in general play, he was still able to find space and get front position on his opponent.
He's taken 5 marks inside 50 tonight. That one is his worst kick. He hit the post earlier. He's kicked 3 goals too. He has kicked 9 goals against the Blues back in 06, and right now you feel like he's going to have a lot of shots.
Carlton bring it away. Carrazzo corralled hard on the boundary line, back to the goal square, and Bauer, whose confidence must be reasonably low, as evidenced by that hand pass. Carrazzo gets it back from Bauer. Whoops. Charged down. Well done, Rewald, working so hard. Murphy's got it now. Got it from Joseph. The kick wanders up towards the wing. Clever Marco Halpin. Jumped early. Wheels around. Now Favola is 1 out. Well, that's got it right angles back towards centre half back as far as the Saints are concerned. The last place it needed to go. Baker coming through, knocks it forward. Schneider. It comes across from McWalter. Scrambled forward by Graham. Here he is again, Rewald. Too clever by half, but 3 on 2. Del Santo's got the football. Graham is moving. Kazitsky is the long target. But he's taken the mark in the pocket. So far, goalless.
Well, there's absolutely nothing that Jamison could have done about that pass. Kazitsky actually wasn't sure whether he was going to lead there or not, and Del Santo just waited and waited for him to make his mind up. And then just absolutely brilliant. Just waited in front of him, moved him towards the ball away from his opponent.
13 possessions. Nick Del Santo leads all comers this evening. There goes the kick. He's put it through, I think. Kazitsky from long range.
It's the first time he's touched the ball pretty much, I think, Kazitsky tonight, but he's moving well. He and Rewald, they look halfway point of the season. They look in really good touch, just in his general movement. But really, it was a Del Santo kick. Just had the time, had the space, put the ball out in front of Kazitsky. Low diving mark is certainly. Jamison is out of the play.
Well, this is what happened shortly after that errant kick from O'Halpin. He was called down by Brendan Favola. There you see the two of them together now. Fev called him down. He said, look, I need to have a chat to you about your kicking, and just settled him down a bit.
Good leadership from Fevo.
Depends how he praised it.
And bionic hearing from Tim.
Fev's probably saying, can you give me one? I haven't had one yet. He hasn't had a touch.
Well, he had that smothered handball, but it didn't register.
Montagna, she did well then. Armfield had hold of one arm. Rewald attracting a crowd. He's such a dominating figure here. Gibbs, well done. He started forward and hasn't really got into the game yet. High possession getter. That's a clever kick. It sits now for Scotland. And that's okay too to Murphy.
Look how wide St Kilda have forced Carlton from one back flank right across to the opposite wing, and yet they've been under pressure the whole time. Usually if you switch the ball, you're able to find space.
So they backtrack to Jamison.
Interesting choice to put Jones on the Murphy matchup. I guess they feel that might be the best chance for Jones to apply his shutdown skills and let Judd and the other St Kilda midfielders pretty much rotate on each other.
Well, the Bulldogs, I know we're going back a few weeks, Bulldogs did the same thing. Picken went to Murphy that day here.
Boundary throw in. Hampson wins it down. Judd scrambles after it. Del Santo's over the ball, though. Ties it up, and the umpire will do it again.
And, of course, that is basically on the fact that there's believed that Mark Murphy might be easier to tag than Judd or Gibbs or any of those others.
Rigg kicks inside the forward 50. O'Halpin, a little jig down there. Was he pushed in the back? Not according to the umpire. Judd goes after it again. Ball could have been taken high. He'll get the free kick. Look, ball, left half back. Goes back.
Look at St Kilda spread.
Hudson. Next man on is Gilbert. Now Dawson a little too close, so he opts to do the shepherding. Won't be required, I don't think. Just a token shepherd will do. Turns out that way. Meantime, around the outer side, Gilbert sends it long inside the forward 50. Courage there from Bauer coming back. Camped in front. The ball comes from McAvoy. Falling to the ground. I think that was Fisher. And he snapped it behind. Don't see him down there too often.
I think he just came down with the flow of the footy. But a good call by Dawson, actually not to receive the handball, to run back and shepherd. Let Gilbert, who's the better ball carrier, carry the footy.
And that's the ultimate team act, isn't it? To give up an easy disposal, and it would have been an inside 50 for the benefit of the team.
So Fev's first kick set Brown a bit of a task. That was Fisher's first score for the moment ago. No wonder Dennis was surprised he was forward. Austin running hard. Now Simpson had a good opening terms, had a very good year. Long time since he's missed a match. O'Halpin getting a little bit of it. He's untidy, but he's finding the ball and kicks inside the 50. Betts and Baker back to Grigg. Goes back to Murphy. Murphy hooking cleverly. That's a good goal.
They're staying close, aren't they? They haven't given up. They're still sticking to their plans, and we know that scoreboard pressure can affect sides, and you can start going outside of your structure. But I don't think Carlton have gone outside of their structure as yet.
No. It's just there's power. St Kilda's just got them a little bit, but Carlton at least now got the scoreboard ticking, and at the moment, 32 points against in a half against St Kilda's pretty good.
Fisher lurking deep again. Houlihan, hands and knees. Little give. Simpson weaving his way out. Brilliantly done.
Been good, Simpson. 13th possession. Gave it to Gibbs. The Blues are running. Grigg taken down by Gilbert, but the hand pass was okay. On the bounce, Carrazzo goes to half forward for Vola. Bouncing ball. Lays it off Murphy. O'Halpin's in the goal square. Lets it run on. Lets it run on for a goal. Oh, true to their motto, they are coming.
You can't be born in Australia and do what Satana just did.
I'm not sure exactly what he was doing, but this is a fantastic bit of play under pressure by Simpson to initiate the attack. And then when they got it back in the centre corridor, and then this kick for goal. I kind of thought O'Halpin thought he was going to run onto the footy and run into the goal square, but it just kept running.
He made the right decision in the end.
In the end, he did.
Kick 3, Murphy, been important.
Yeah.
O'Halpin's been interesting. I mean, not just that play, but he's actually presented pretty well forward.
It has been important, just the 10 touches, but 2 goals has been a very good return.
So Gibbs. Back to Simpson has been so important. To Gibbs, to Favola. Just missing the target. Fev to try and worry Maxi out of it. Stevens puts the tackle on. There's Blake underneath it. Favola ridden into the ground. Terrific pressure by the Blues. Back it came to Ball, to Ray, to Graham, to Baker.
Well, Carlton's pressure is now St Kilda-like, isn't it? They've got the Saints on the back foot, and it's just going to be the Saints in the next couple of minutes to be able to buffer this pressure and to get the game back on their terms.
Simpson's been magnificent. Hooks it back to full forward. Favola, was he being held on to? Well done, Hodgson.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Last week you got a lot of those 50-50 frees, but not tonight.
This body pressure from Jamison's been fantastic. That fine line we were talking about with Bow and Rewald, well, Jamison's been able to find it and put enough pressure on his opponent.
Gardner knocks it down to a dangerous spot for a defending team. Plenty of blues around it. Gilbert came hard, trying to back out of the pack Montagna. On his wrong foot, Del Santo swings it up towards the wing. A race towards the outer side then. Austin works in front. Gets a hand pass away. Awkward half volley. Scotland. Armfield eyes only for the football. Revolt took him down. Bauer, as you'd expect, not far away. Down goes Austin. McWalter claimed by Scotland, but not before he got it to Montagna. Montagna, poor kick. Bounces down towards half forward. Brown stands his ground. Gibbs coming through as Grigg. Grigg goes down towards half forward. Gilbert back with courage in the opposite direction. Dawson gets a hand pass across towards Blake. Dawson goes again. Cheetah playing for keeps now. Hayes gives it across towards Ray. Ray wheels around, goes back to Gilbert. Gilbert kicks into the charging Stevens. Stevens taken down by Baker. Got boot to ball. An involuntary action from Carasso. It goes across the boundary line and will be thrown in there wide-eyed.
Well, this is modern day footy at its best. The pressure from both teams is extreme, and to see each team try to buffer that pressure is exciting in itself.
Ball collected the spoils to Schneider. Oh, there's a victory for Jamison.
Yeah, that's a... Jamison, he just looked, Rewald was getting away from Bowers, but I've got a feeling that they're just trying to double team him now.
Joseph just slipped the tackle from Ball. Halpin the target. She's been good on Halpin. Yes. That vertical leap has been a problem. They haven't been able to match him there. It's just what he does with the ball in hand that's been a bit of a worry, which is a pretty important part of our game, I know. Here's Grigg. He kicks to centre half forward, and that's not a good result. And really, that all started from O'Halpin's indecision, unable to get the ball cleanly forward.
One of the reasons that Rewald is double teamed at the moment is Kaczynski's off. Now, if he comes back on, he draws that defender, changes the structure totally.
O'Halpin does what he had to do, got a fist on it. Stevens goes back inside. Judd, 9th possession, sweeps it towards centre half forward. Gibbs needs some support, comes back to Grigg. They're controlling the football. They've got 2-on-1 here, 3-on-2 as it turns out. Short one to Gibbs, running hard as Brown, who gave the give inside the centre square, sets it up. Hampson and Gardner. Gardner goes back, simply laid it down for Hampson, and Hampson's kicked a goal.
It's a morale booster, isn't it, really, when the two wrap and get into the forward 50. It looked like Gardner took a marker just a little bit early, but as soon as the ball hit the ground, it basically just bounced back up into Hampson's arms. But he finished. He was under pressure. He kicked the goal, and at the moment, the scoreboard, Carlton are just gradually starting to reel the Saints in a bit.
Gibbs was really impressive in that passage of play, and important too. It's just the fact that he kept the ball moving, disallowing the St Kilda defence to get really settled there, and they were under pressure.
Hampson's first disposal tonight, it was a beauty. So they kicked the last three here, the Blues. Cruiser to Judd, and Judd gets a bit on that too inside the 50. Fisher, good pressure from Houlihan. And now Garlick quickly onto the boot. Hodgson versus Favola. Brilliant to Grigg. Can he find it? He does. Can he kick it? He does. The Blues, yeah, they are coming.
How well has that guy played? Sean Grigg's been on the field for 39 minutes, and he's had a touch every 2 minutes, basically. He's had 19 touches. The bloke that tapped it across to him has played nearly an hour and had just 2 touches, but both very effective in that bit of play. And the quick kick there can't be underestimated.
Nice awareness in it by bowler too.
And in front first to move. We haven't seen that much.
What about Fairvey? Had his right boot in a pickle jar between round 7 and 9, but sometimes you don't need your feet. That was so clever by Brendan Favola. Margin just 8 points. This crowd at fever pitch now. They're winning in the clearances, Carlton, at the moment. And here's one of the reasons why. Judd sweeps it again out wide, taken by Stevens. Back to Carrazzo. He's been handy too. Sends it high. Favola in position A. From behind Gilbert. Stolen away Betts. It's a vacant goal square. Lob it towards goal, my boy. He does! And kicks it. Bannister puts it through. And how about this? 2 points the difference on Friday Night Football.
Well, just the fact that Carlton have kicked 9 goals and a half against St Kilda is highly unusual, but it's just even early in the game, St Kilda just broke the Carlton defence, but now all of a sudden Carlton have had a 5 minutes where they've broken the St Kilda defence, and then all of a sudden the scoreboard is now just about equal.
I just reckon Carlton are running harder than St Kilda at the moment. See, this came out of the centre bounce. Now, Carrazzo had run harder. He was the 3rd man over to that contest and was able to dispose without pressure into 50. St Kilda haven't given Carlton that opportunity much tonight.
Kicked 3 goals in 2.5 minutes, Carlton. 5 unanswered goals, just as the Saints did in the opening term. Montagna to the forward 50, hasn't been there for a little while. Austin taking a chance. Cruiser, well done. To Bauer, to Carrazzo. They might be in front at half-time. Armfield bends his back, runs hard. Don't know what he does there. He finds Betts almost, but he's outnumbered, so that's a waste.
He's injured himself too.
Hudson out wide, showed a bit of the ball. Simpson's been good at closing late. Dawson, Judd and Gardner, they know each other pretty well, don't they?
Yes.
So Gardner out wide, Goddard, and then Goddard with that piercing, beautiful leg of his inside the 50, but the blue defenders suddenly have been able to get a punch out.
Jamison's been good all night. He hasn't had the reroll match. I think he just might have kicked the turf on the way through.
Oh, plenty of it.
Almost hurt the ankle.
Cruiser at the moment, won it down decisively. Runs on, lays a tackle. Gardner, though, comes away with a footy, lobs it towards the pocket. Austin heads for the boundary line, takes it out. Just looking at the time played by the big guy Cruiser. In the first term, he played 13 minutes. He's now up to 34 for the game. 8 possessions. This has been a terrific effort in the second term. He's been a catalyst. There he is again, putting pressure on with speed. Del Santo did nicely. Milne pulls it back. Missed by Stevens. Revolt outmaneuvered this time. Could have almost been a free kick to Bauer. Stevens tackles McAvoy. Blake gets a hand pass towards goal. Revolt! Almost something out of nothing behind.
Well, he didn't have to make something out of nothing for most of the first half, has he? But because he's had that space and he's had that time, and St Kilda have had that midfield dominance, but Carlton's work rate have got them back in this match. Carlton's work rate have got them the last 5 goals of the game.
Well, it's been a pulsating opening half. We saw
I guess you'll be hoping that for bowler. I mean, Hudson has been maybe he's acknowledged as one of his most difficult opponents. His team's going okay. If Favola can join in the party, then they've really got a chance.
Well, Lee, if I said at the start of the match that Fed wouldn't have a goal and they'd be within 3 points at half-time, you'd say that would do, wouldn't you?
Yep.
Betts, good mark.
Hello.
Well, what a remarkable comeback here by the Blues. Trailed for much of the first half by 4 to 5 goals.
You've got to feel silly if you hold the ball up and the siren goes.
You've achieved your aim if that happens, then.
It's intense footy.
Terrific stuff. Huge crowd, jam-packed at Etihad Stadium, and we've seen a bit of everything in that opening half. The skill of the Saints and the power of the Blues coming back. So at half-time on Friday Night Footy, it's 59-56.
Friday Night Football, Etihad Stadium, vast crowd. Standing room only, I think, as of yesterday. Away we go. Saints by 3 points, being challenged. Goddard to Hayes. Hayes floats one towards half forward. It was tough. Play on's the call. Austin must have heard it. I did.
Line. Touched off the boot. Touched off the boot. Thank you.
Good common sense decision.
Yes, nothing wrong with that. Players always get the benefit of the doubt in that situation. Cruiser has started on the ground this time. His influence not to be denied in that second term. It spills wide to another man who was terrific after quarter time. That's Simpson. Floats one out towards the boundary. Betts, Simpson, Carazzo. Very high ball to the wing. Cleared the two players who came at it. Blake gave it to Hayes. Now Gardner, back to Hayes, running down towards half forward. Revolt stretches over his head. Pyrrhic victory right there. Coming through Bauer. Worked a little 1-2 with his teammate Grigg. Now it's in the hands of Gibbs, who comes out wide. Favola being tracked by two. Gets back through them. They were a little lackluster. Hudson better at the second attempt. Smothered the kick. Favola tried to go off the ground. Hudson to Gilbert. Taken by Gardner. Fisher. Not a good kick by Hayes. Well trapped though by Schneider. Del Santo can go long to the square. Decides to go to Montagna. Didn't work it too well, or did they? Montagna spotted Revolt. Had to wait an eternity. Chance for Graham. Well, Carlton. Bannister gets back.
To Stevens. He was one of a number of Blues who really lifted in the second half of that second term. Cruiser was terrific. That's a wobbly kick, and Houlihan can't get to the contest, and Gilbert, who's playing loose in defence, takes the mark. Both teams started this second half with a couple of loosies down back. Oh, Brown takes a beauty on Del Santo.
They've really chewed the ball up early this quarter, St Kilda. They've had the opportunity to go forward 3 or 4 times, and they've been errant passes that have cost them.
Gibbs, good kick to Carazzo, kick to go in the opening half around his body. Now Halpin's at centre half forward. Favola's just outside of Carazzo.
He has to get in there.
Betts, he's got him.
Maybe not create the space.
So Betts, who's 7 goals, 2 from set shots this year.
Good space. He had to set it up then, Carazzo. If he kicked the ball in long, St Kilda had the all the height in around the goal square, so that little precise set-up kick had to be on.
So this to put the Blues in front. And this will get the crowd going if he can kick it. It's coming back. There's a strange kick off the boot, wasn't it?
It was. Boy from West Perth can take a hang. Brown. Get it right there. Del Santo. They've got the spare man just inside the defensive 50. That's Ray. Comes back to the goal square. Graham. Now Graham can come up the middle. I think Dawson a bit oblivious to that. Hasn't turned yet. Now he does, but there's a man on him. Not sure what Dawson was thinking about. Meantime, Graham, Hudson, Gilbert. Beats a hasty retreat, goes across the ground. Ray involved moments ago. Goes very wide. Montagna in an awkward situation. Played it brilliantly. Comes away Montagna. Used his body to shield the ball. Goes down to the pocket. Kozetsky with Jamison falling over.
You've got to think that, you've got to say that Jamison's played a very important role, a very good role, but Lee Montagna is just, he hasn't yet been an All-Australian, but the way he's going this year will be his first.
So the Saints pressing here. No reward on the board so far for either team in the second half. Betts a shot a moment ago, the lone score. Cruiser lays it down. Austin and Judd bump on another over. Judd to Cruiser on the left. Well, it's a good result, isn't it? Bauer, and then quickly playing on. Joseph away. A bit of an up and under kick to centre wing. Well done by Graham. He was terrific in the first quarter. Bannister's got the job on him, still with Graham. Now a chance. Hayes can attack here. Little one to Revolt, got him. Well, this is just the sort of play that you'd love the captain to
have a look at Gilbert's hit here. He came from 25 metres away. We saw Bannister trailing Graham in. He came from 25 metres away to take him off his hammer, providing with some time and space for St Kilda to go forward.
Well, Revolt talked about them being a real team, didn't he, in the paper today, and that's real team footy, and that's a very, very good kick that's gone all the way for a fourth goal, I think.
It's one or the other.
Okay, all clear then, we call that.
Revolt's goal.
He's coming off now.
It's a nice kick. It's amazing, isn't it, sometimes when, and Judd there's got the bleed coming off the blood rule, but when a player has to kick through the footy, Revolt had to really unload. So he didn't steer it, but timed it well. Kicked the ball about 51 metres, and he needed that last half metre.
Juddy's nose didn't look real straight either.
No, it happened when he ran into a teammate, I think. Gee, I've got a sense of deja vu looking at that nose. It's all come flooding back to me. Poor old Juddy.
So do I. Yeah, that's gone a little bit left.
My excuse is, mine is like it is after it's been fixed. That can't be good. Rucks go at it, knocked down by Gardner. Del Santo Hayes slips a hand pass away. Jones kicks down towards half forward. Gardner getting away from Cruiser this time. So, top of the table being challenged, but they've got the last goal. It was an important one. They've still not surrendered the lead. Not 15. Gilbert Cruiser so nimble. Went from the mark to apply the tackle. Hand pass comes to ball from Del Santo. Can he clear the man? No, he can't. Austin gets back. Carranzo is breaking. Needs to be precise, and he was. They've got 2-on-1. Murphy pushing up the ground. That's ignored on the outer side. They come back across goal. Bauer's got it. So Bauer to Grigg. Chancing his arm. Bauer now running. Not much onto the outer side. Again, precision required. Goes to Jamison. He goes along the line over Carranzo's head, though. Ray, head down. Knocked away by Blake. Tackled by Houlihan. Judd out of there to Graham. Close to the boundary line, Montagna. Comes back to Ray. And Ray across half-back. Has a bounce and spots Hayes.
Been busy, Hayes. Poor kick. Well, not the first time he's missed Revolt in this half. Del Santo. Jones working, and then Gardner. Murphy's tackle okay. A second tackle. Is it rewarded? Yes. No. Still going. The whistle almost came to the umpire's lips.
Gardner didn't have it on the ground. Murphy had it. I tried to let it get out. Thank you.
You heard the explanation.
There's only 10 free kicks played in the first half. There's been the observation that free kicks are much harder to get as the season's gone on.
That's a good thing. Don't you reckon?
Well, I think it's logical too. Players get used to the rules. Umpires get more used to the rules. The umpires get match conditioned as well, I think. So that making that judgment call of what is and what isn't seems to be doing just that little bit more stringently.
Oh, that's a bad nose.
Do well if you finish your career with a nose the same shape you started, don't you?
Play on.
It hasn't stopped you fulfilling your potential, Dennis, so don't worry about Juddy. Here's Montagna. To Hayes.
Look, he's mocking me, Bruce. He goes down towards half forward. Hope he's okay. Nothing to laugh about. It's not my nose. Down goes Gibbs. Gets a hand pass away. Stevens. Carranzo. Bauer. through midfield. That was clever. Wrong-footed Gardner lays it into the path of Joseph, who lets it run on. Taken by Houlihan. Precise by foot. Goes looking for Favola. Punched away by Hudson. Taken by Betts. Straddling the pack. Tim Watson was geary. Drives it towards the outer side. Now Revolt. Rebound opportunity for the Saints. Collision coming up. Well, not quite. Milne got the football. Steps around Bauer. Vacant goal square. He sensed it. It runs on. He kicks a goal. Oh, little Stevie. Not playing for the easy beats tonight.
Yes, it's one thing to generate chances, but Betts blew the chance earlier in the quarter from maybe a cute angle, but 30 metres out, but then Rewalt and then Milne from the 50-metre line have been able to have a sniff, look at the goals and kick long-range goals, which just gives St Kilda that breathing space.
Terrific goal to Milne, well set up. Gee, you'd want him back on as quickly as possible, obviously.
I reckon he wants to get back on and get off the bench at the moment. Have a look at that. They're obviously straightening something up, but it's fairly graphic. Gee.
And in the meantime, the Saints stretch their lead.
Tackle's got to be legal.
Probably a few eyes watering at home watching all of that, I reckon.
Yeah.
Montagna to Ray. And then Ray to the pocket. Good kick. Schneider. Well done, Brown. Kozuchki and kicked it forward. Jamison manhandled. Saints have got a sniff, you reckon, here. They're 14 points up. And they're trying to get a break again whilst Carlton are slightly on the back foot with their champ on the bench. So working hard to stop the flow of blood through Judd's nose there.
Holding on to Heath Scotland by the jumper. Didn't have the football.
Scotland gets the free. Good to see him back. He's in the back pocket. 71-57, just under 12 minutes away from three-quarter time. The margin was 3 points at half-time. There's Greg, who's been good. Coming up to his 22nd possession. Knows how to find the footy. Well, not sure about the kick. Why there? Why to him? Can't miss him. He's got the blonde hair.
He has the extra player in the back third there, Carlton, but they weren't able to spread well enough to find him.
Revolt launches one. Oh, that's the ultimate penalty.
Well, it's a game of good goals, isn't it? It's a game of inches. It's a game of metres. We saw Mark Murphy get a couple of extra yards in the first quarter to be able to kick a goal from outside 50. I think it was Austin then actually had his back to Rewalt, running away to try and clog up some space.
Yeah.
Rewalt saw that he had the opportunity to come forward, and those extra couple of metres made all the difference.
Played it well.
Oh, what a game he's playing. He's kicked 5 tonight.
Very good. Carlton are actually setting up the spare man back in Austin, which means both sides are going to have an extra player in their back 50. So kicking those goals from the 50-metre line, that's the easiest way to do it if you can make them.
A tale of two captains right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
One having his jumper changed to put a clean one on the nose, hopefully. The blood stop, and the other one is hurting Carlton, really cutting into them, isn't it?
Yep.
So... the Blues to centre wing. Hayes, so much of the ball again tonight. Gilbert to Schneider. Inboard to Goddard. Goddard looks up. Left foot leans back. Kicks a goal. Brilliant. Challenge responding.
Well, normally if you have a lot of long shots, you kick a lot of long behinds, but early in this third quarter, they've come through the 50-metre line. And Goddard, he was forced onto his left foot, non-dominant side, but gee, thought his way through it well, saw the open goal square, 50-metre kick to an open goal, but 4 shots from the 50-metre line for 4 goals. That's enormously effective.
Not the first time they kicked a goal into an open goal square in this quarter.
Chris Judd is out there. The last 9 goals have been kicked at the Coventry end of the ground.
Interestingly enough, Brendan Goddard's role was to play on Judd and run off him, and with Judd off the field he was able to get more dangerous going forward.
Stevens goes after the footy. Judd missed it. Hampson held a long time, must get the free kick. Chris Judd's sorry run against St Kilda continues. He was reported, of course, and suspended for striking Steve Baker when he played for the West Coast Eagles. His average is just 16 possessions a game against the Saints. Speak of the devil. Baker didn't mean it quite that way, but Baker's getting a free kick. According to us, the man who put Ross into Rottweiler. He's got the ball across half back.
Well, a number of times tonight already we've seen the players not respond to the umpires' calls. It must be, we know how big the crowd is, it must be amazingly loud down there at ground level for the players. Peripheral vision and voice from your immediate teammates is so important on a game like this.
Bucks full house at Etihad, more noisy in the full house than the MCG.
Down goes Blunt.
Different, but yeah, I reckon it is.
Favola, don't tell me they've played him into form. He's kicked the goal. Oh, no, he hasn't. He's kicked the behind. Well, how could you do that? He's the one man you don't want to give a touch to. I mean, Ross Lyon just can't neglect him, and neither can St Kilda. It's like having Freddy Krueger hiding in a cupboard. 13-5 to 9-4.
Judd hooking back, Garland underneath it. Gilbert coming across, playing like a quarterback in this quarter. Then Betts and Garland and a boundary throw in.
Well, St Kilda were good in recent years with Sam Fisher and Goddard running off that half-back line, but Sam Gilbert's development has allowed Goddard to go in the middle. It's just so many dangerous avenues from defence to attack that they have across half-back.
G. Baker was good then. Well, he's been pinged. I thought he'd wheeled the ball away from Betts.
Bryce, go back.
So, in the battle of the patched up headbands, aren't they? Gibbs gets the free kick.
Well, it's another 50-metre shot. St Kilda taken their four. Carlton just have to start nailing one or two of these if they've got any chance.
Well, this is Murphy's spot from the second quarter. From the first term, he's basically where he kicked the goal. Just the 3 goals this season for Gibbs. This would be huge in the context of this match. Could be the first goal for the Blues after half-time. It's not going to be one, though. He hooked it.
Just didn't quite have probably the distance. I don't know whether he's a long kicker, Gibbs, and when you have to really try and unload, normally you will pull the ball left, hook it a bit.
Montagna in the back pocket. Fisher has been prepared to push up tonight. Can come back to Montagna. Good man to have the ball in his hands. Fisher runs. Untidy hand pass. Showed a lot of it to Gibbs, who emerges with the footy. Over the top for Bowler. Judd is still on in the middle. Doesn't use him. Pushed as he kicked. Wanders back towards square. Grigg. Gibbs. That's a good kick. Bannister is marked right on the 50. Judd offers a lead. I don't think Bannister will go to him. No, obviously thinks he can do the distance.
Same principle has to be right-hand goalpost, because you think again he will hook it marginally trying to get that extra distance.
So Bannister from about 49 metres, has it got the carry? I think so. Some good use of the body by O'Halpin, sees it through.
Just amazing, isn't it? Really, the last half a dozen shots at goal all been out around the 50-metre line, because both sides have got that extra spare back, which means it's hard work for the forwards deep inside the forward 50. So this being able to convert for long range is going to be the most obvious way to have a shot at goal. So St Kilda got their 4. Well, Carlton have got 1 to at least start pegging them back.
First game for the season. He's kicked 2 goals. It's been a real bonus. Hasn't played at this level since round 5 last year, Bannister. So it's been a good inclusion. He's kicked a couple. Blues stay close enough. Oh, well done, Judd. Running hard, trying to lift his team. O'Halpin's been good in this situation most of the night. Betts brilliantly done. Now he's a good kick is Stevens.
That was a good effort.
Yeah.
At flat out to kick on the outside of your boot like that. It didn't get the result, but it was brilliantly thought out and well executed.
So here's Gilbert.
Bouncing towards the wing. Short one. Half volleyed there by Del Santo. Del Santo in two minds. Could have gone to Revolt. Revolt now is on for the short one. Goddard's got it, ignores that, comes back to the middle, and the mark is taken by Kazetsky. Yeah, career high 6 last week.
They've swapped over their forward matchups. I think they fancy Rewald deeper on Bowers, so Kazetsky's virtually coming up, virtually playing half forward, where Jamison pretty much had him under control deep in.
8 goals, 2 from set shots tonight, the Saints.
Another 50-metre shot.
Yeah, directly in front. Will kick from outside the 50. This one is working left. It's going to be close. Touch just before the line. Just as well the ruckman got back Hampson. Stretched every sinew and just directed it back across the line.
An important touch. So 3-goal game. A lot of similarities with the opening term here. The Blues close enough, you would think, to have a real shot in the last. Jamison, not if you're going to do that. Montaigne's been so busy now, he decides to load up and go from that 50 and hit the post. He took a little short step, got himself balanced and went bang.
He's had 9 inside 50s tonight, Montaigne. He's been damaging in the front half.
And Del Santo, well, they've had 3 shots in no time, haven't they?
Come behind your mark.
A couple of bullets dodged there by the Blues. That little chip back to the corridor inside the defensive 50 is not good. Here's Greg. Really been impressed by him. Getting a chance and grabbing it tonight. Out of the back pocket. Trying to be precise with the kick. Needed to be and was. That was a lovely kick.
That's St Kilda's zone. They've got 16 players basically within 60 metres of the kicker, so it's very hard to penetrate.
Simpson drives towards the wing. Plenty of tall timber there for the Saints. Gibbs a chance. Knocked back into the pack by Cruiser. Taken high. St Kilda getting a free. Goddard with the ball on the wing, goes short. Hayes takes the mark. We're down to 1:30.
So Hayes and Montaigne both on pace to match their season average of around 27-28. Revolt the target again. And then Schneider and Judd. Such a presence, Judd, isn't he? Haven't we?
Yeah. Breathing out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Out of the 15 Blues players have had 10 touches or more, only 3 of those players have had more kicks and handballs. They've really been pressured into using the hands by a St Kilda team that we know have been so good in that area.
Montaigne to Del Santo to Ray. Kazetsky and Jamison.
He's actually a very good spoiler, and it's an art in itself, the ability just to be able to judge the bodies and get your fist on the ball, and Jamison does it really well.
Carlton just trying to hang on here. Well, Milne, little give. Hayes went down. Joseph on the up. We'll come back to Joseph.
Leg in. Just hold there, Steve. Play on, play on.
See Judd again on the burst. He really does have a nose for the footy in this term. In fact, he's got a nose like a footy. It's out of bounds at the interchange gates. We'll have a throw in. 45 seconds and counting. In fact, it's a free kick to Blake. Blake, I think the chopping of the arms goes back to Gilbert. So we're down to 35 seconds now. Gardner. Gardner takes a while. Back to Gilbert. And I think they decide this is enough. Goes across the ground. Hodgson thought about going forward. With the umpire. Comes back to Blake. We're down to 18 seconds. There's still time.
It's a free kick.
There's an interchange infringement.
I've seen one of those, eh?
It's fair kick on there.
Well, they've done everything to give him the footy.
Brendan, and 50. And 50 as well. No, it's 50. You go down.
And a 50.
Well,
Brendan.
this is a bit tough, isn't it? I think there's
because it's
confusion.
interchange infringement. So,
Mine or his?
no, it's Brendan Favola's.
No.
Interchange, mate.
Oh. Fair enough if it was the interchange, but the 50, I don't think anyone knew what happened.
Lenny!
It's like suddenly some space junk fell.
Okay, thanks.
Anyway, Favola's got a free kick and he's 25 metres out. Take what you can get. This will make it interesting. Brendan Favola. But his first goal of the night steers it through, and Carlton are alive and reasonably well. Three-quarter time. Storming finish by the Blues in that term, and fair to say they needed it. Chris Judd, an inspiration coming back on. While he was off, that game slipped away, but he's been very, very instrumental in pulling his club back. St Kilda 13-7, Carlton 11-6. Friday night football. Final term. 13 points the difference. Big finish coming up on Friday night football. What a classic it's been so far. Cruiser knocks it down. Betts kicks inside the forward 50. Dawson, unkind bounce. Favola is double teamed. Can he get through? Did pretty well. Gilbert confronted by Favola. Hunched it away to Jones. Jones under pressure. Betts threads the needle. We're almost behind.
They look dangerous, don't they? They've kicked late goals in this match at the end of the first and third quarters. Remarkably, the biggest margin any team's come from behind at three-quarter time this year is 8 points. That was Adelaide against Essendon last week. In the 88 matches played this year, only 6 times a team's come from behind at three-quarter time and won. But you do feel as if Carlton are a very good chance here. Gardner had a bit of an error. Bannister shrugged them off. Does he keep the ball in? He does. Gets it inside the 50. Carazzo, good result for the Blues.
It's an interesting decision, I think, by Carlton. They've had Austin playing spare in defence to try and give a little bit of extra help to Bow and Jamison. But when you've got to pick up a couple of goal margin, I'm not sure whether you just have to release that, because St Kilda can do exactly the same down their end.
Graham's poor kick. They've got Judd back on quickly. Joseph, well done. Stevens, that's a good-looking kick right to the goals. Favola, well done. Hudson, Hurlahan hooking back, but can't get it back, and it's a behind. So they're inside 2 goals, the Blues. Pressing hard here. 12-0 has been a rarity over the 100 years plus of the VFL stroke AFL, and that's what the Saints are trying to achieve at the start of this 2009 season.
Right there, that's it.
11 points the margin.
Right, hold it.
Fisher in the back pocket.
Carlton have done well here. They're going to make them kick it long.
Goddard just through the interchange offered the lead, but it goes wide of him. Cruiser couldn't hang on. Carazzo had it knocked away. Goddard, Jones, Montagna off and running now. Del Santo running down towards half forward, kicks inside the forward 50. A chance for the big guy. Kaczynski knocked it down. Schneider, well, he should have got a free kick, I would have thought. Milne bending it back. Oh, and that's gone at right angles.
That's just about a copybook play from St Kilda. The contest there, Goddard was able to get on it. Montagna and Del Santo down the wing to a tall target, and then Milne and Snyder doing what they do. It was pretty hard to stop.
It was a fine line, Bucks. Wasn't all the Carlton blokes went forward of the footy, and when they just didn't quite maintain possession, they got caught behind.
You can see how important clean hands is in a contest like this. One fumble and the opportunity is lost to go forward or to defend.
Hayes looking for revolt. Bauer, Murphy, Scotland. They keep a cool head, the Blues. Brown out wide to Betts. Showed a lot of it to Baker though. Baker needed that metre start because Betts is so quick. Brilliantly done, Betts. To Carazzo, to Murphy, Inboard again. Simpson's off. That handball puts some pressure on. Hurley Judd got a bad bounce. Del Santo, 28th disposal for him. Graham, clever, and then goes bang. Milne, stretch, couldn't quite. Joseph at the back. Using Scotland, quick hands to Bauer. Tucked it under his arm for a moment. Switches it over the top. Bannister back to Bauer. This is an important kick. Goes wide. He's got Fev in his sights. Hodgson wearing him. Favola slips him, but the ball beats him over the line.
Fev is not happy. Evoking the Prime Minister there. Pigs might fly. Reckons that was a free kick. Bad time for Pigs. Medicine, media. Goddard in the back pocket. Out of bounds on the fall. Just flew off the outside of his boot. Stevens. 70 metres from goal. This crowded fever pitch. The roar is constant. Centering ball. Judd was there. Blake came back with courage. Cruiser. Deft hand pass. Laid it down for Houlihan. Trying to get through down there was Baker. Betts waiting for him. Milne was over the top. A massive humanity. Oh, Juddy.
He's got 2 weeks to get over it.
Blood rule again.
Yep. It's going to be a fine line whether they can keep him on now, isn't it?
Yeah, that...
Jason, come here, please, mate.
Lee, Saints haven't kicked a goal for 22 minutes.
Yeah, no, they've been good, Carlton, but they just can't really get it ticking themselves.
I'm no doctor, but he's gagging on his own blood there.
Blake, cut off by Carazzo.
Play on!
Goddard may be stiff there not to get a free.
He's gone straight down into the rooms, Chris Judd. It's a courageous effort. I mean, to have a broken nose is, I suppose players play with broken nose. We've seen that, but that's a particularly bad one. It seems to be bleeding down his throat, and he's still had a huge impact, even incapacitated like that.
18 possessions for Judd.
That's interesting. Some collusion with the umpires in deciding that that was deliberate out of bounds. So Scotland brings it back to Gibbs.
Midway between the line, centre wing and half forward.
And all 18 St Kilda players versed between Gibbs and the goal.
Gibbs sets it up then. Favola again draws the double team and takes a mark from nowhere.
And that's what happens when you keep positive and when you maintain the right demeanour, the right attitude. Things will happen for you.
It's what coaches say all the time. You can have a shocking game, and then if a game's tight, you can do something, 1, 2 things
2 metres
that make the difference to the end result.
Well, he muscled the pack and somehow the ball stuck.
And he had to persist for that.
That was terrific. Strength, then skill, important kick, and he tugs it way left. Oh, dear.
He didn't kick it, did he? He just poked at it. He just really didn't go back and kick through the footy. But it was a fantastic jump. That is a total 1 on 2 and 1 come out on top.
I'm not sure if Ross Lyon missed the target there, but Fev missed the goal, didn't he? But he does look dangerous for Favola. How many more opportunities will he get from the St Kilda defence in the last quarter? Since their last goal, it's 2-6 to 3 points for Carlton. Grigg and Brown, well done, Milne. Hasling, brilliantly Milne.
Did well to hold it in.
Very well.
Sometimes the draws a win, and Carlton were going to be off and attacking off the half-back line, but Milne, no, it was Ball actually. I think it was who got in and just drew the contest, drew the ball up.
Milne there as well. They're like a rolling rugby scrum at the moment, St Kilda. They're all coming down in waves. Big punch by Goddard. Grigg tried to get it away. Armfield caught by Milne.
I'll have it again. Thank you.
With Judd off the field, it's going to be a real challenge for Carlton. Who's going to stand up and provide the leadership? Is it Bryce Gibbs? Is it Mark Murphy? Cade Simpson? All of these players are young leaders in their own right. This is an opportunity for them to stamp themselves.
Bannister got it out. There is Simpson. Little give. Terrific to Cruiser.
Cruiser, the long kick down towards half forward. They need a goal. Blake got a hand to it. Fisher, claimed by O'Halpin. The old head of Hudson. Gilbert didn't match that. A wayward hand pass. Jones, a little chip out to half-back, and Schneider. They trail by 11 points, the Blues. This would be a famous victory if they can pull it off. You keep expecting the Saints to win, but I don't know. They're playing with wonderful heart, Carlton. Bearing in mind, the Saints kicked the first 5 goals of the game. Here's Dawson. Dawson along the boundary line. Half volley. No, mark paid. Umpire in a good position to see. Revolt has it. His influence really has diminished since half-time. Just forward of the wing. Told to play on. Sets it up. Goddard in best position. Hands to it. Couldn't mark it. Charged down Schneider. Carazzo's hand pass hit him. Took a deflection though to Joseph eventually. Reaching over the top of Betts was Blake, and he knocks it out. That's a victory for Carlton. Boundary throw in.
Still haven't seen Judd, and unlikely to, you'd think.
You just wonder if they can get him back, given that situation, sort of with the blood.
Murphy using the runner cleverly. Kicks inside the 50. Houlihan tried the half volley. Blake. Fisher. Still with Fisher. I think he wanted the boundary line as much as anything else there.
Come through, mate. Come through.
It's like a shield.
It's Russian roulette. St Kilda got a spare player in their forward 50 because Austin's pushed right upfield.
G. Hayes was good. Goddard on the end of it. Can he go over the top here? Still going, Goddard. Revolts off to the side. Goddard working it out. Dawson's hip and shoulder to get rid of Armfield. And then Montagna down the line. Kaczynski couldn't keep his feet. Schneider, important they don't lose it here, the Saints. Is that holding the ball or is it out of play?
Gee, that was great by Brown.
And that was great by Carlton to have 4v1 running through the middle. They were able to zone off at the right time. Judd there, they're still trying to get him back.
Every minute counts with him getting him back, isn't it?
Hampson goes up and taps it down. Gibbs has got it close to the boundary line. Shrugs a would-be tackler. Just slips it away. O'Halpin crosses the boundary. Well, if they can stay close, watch Armfield cop it too. Blindsided by Dawson. Ball only about 3 or 4 metres away. Del Santo, 30 possessions now. Bounces down towards the pocket. Scotland takes it out. Just a terrific, hard game of football tonight. Chris Judd with that broken nose, preparing to come back on again. They can't stop the bleeding. Schneider. Gibbs is down. Meantime, the kick from Del Santo could mean Carlton are down. Wonderful effort.
That was wonderful positioning by Del Santo. There's a lot of bodies going to be close to the ruck contest, but he held back about 15 metres. And when a St Kilda got a player got his hands on the footy, I think we'll probably see it here. All of a sudden, he's got space. It was just not being overly zealous, holding your space, because a bit of space was going to be the thing that counted.
And it's those decisions in position that to be in the right place at the right time in an important game like this, in a high-pressure game like this, the best players generally get on the end of it and then take their opportunity, as Del Santo did then.
28 minutes since the St Kilda goal.
Throw! Carlton! Any bets? Throw!
But what a blow Del Santo struck there. So they've got a bit of breathing space, haven't they?
Yep.
As the Carlton captain is trying to breathe properly and get back on there. Fisher missed an easy one for Vol. It'll go through for a behind. It just is not happening for Fifth. He's looking dangerous. Here comes the champ. Like a prize fighter, isn't he? Mighty roar as he came back onto the ground, but he's not inside just yet. So can they get him back there for one last throw of the dice?
Gone out of the back pocket.
Tell what will be interesting, Dennis, how many goals the Saints have kicked with him off the ground tonight.
Yes. It's been a good time for them, and he spent a fair bit of time off under the blood rule. Ball to the wing, big ugly pack up. Waiting behind Joseph to Stevens to Grigg. This kick's important. Grigg tries to find a way through. Houlihan can bypass the extra man. That was a terrible kick. Had to be long. Still it might work out okay. Betts, Carlton, still coming.
He's been good, Grigg, hasn't he? I mean, the Carlton were prepared at least to try and come back inside into the centre square, and really the ball just ran, missed everybody, and he just bobbed up out of space on his own. So the scoreboard isn't rolling for Carlton. They've only kicked 3 goals since half time, but they're at least having shots.
As Chris Judd returns to the field, we were talking about Del Santo taking his opportunities. He actually missed a spoil then. After the goal was kicked, he was absolutely filthy with himself.
So gets one at one end and then couldn't stop the one at the other. Judd immediately involved. Still Judd involved. Well, this is the stuff of heroes, isn't it?
Starting to bleed again.
It's actually, I reckon it's bleeding down the back of his throat. Yep. It's you can see it's affecting him, but it's plugging away.
Gardner just won the tap. Ray, Hayes, Castles, and now Gibbs with those numbers. Good looking kick. Houlihan in the right spot. Worked underneath it by Fisher. Garlett so quick onto it. And then Gilbert did well to Fisher. And then Fisher along the line. O'Halpin and also Austin on the boundary throw-in.
Just had to keep his feet, Garlett. He hasn't got a whole lot of bulk to maintain it, but he had his body over the footy, but he just stumbled.
It's the 6th biggest crowd here at Etihad Stadium, over 50,800 tonight. Biggest crowd the Saints have played in front of all year.
If this game gets the finish it deserves, this will be one of those games they talk about for a long time. Grigg gives away a free kick on the wing. Nick Revolt, St. Nick to take it on the outer side. The man who was a light early to Ray can come back to Revolt, who wasn't really paying attention. Takes a while, kicks inside the forward 50, 2-on-1. Bauer was up, should have marked it. Comes back to him on the ground. He wishes it hadn't. He was taken high. He's going to get a free kick.
And it was the body of Jamison that should have allowed Bauer to take that mark uncontested, but he thought that it was going to be harder than it was.
Oh, well done, Simpson. Oh, terrific. Beat 3 of them. He needed to. Comes away. Blake with courage stands his ground. Cop one. Should have been a mark.
Yep.
Play on. Baker gave it to Gilbert. Precise kick to Graham. 70 metres out. Over the top. Del Santo will skid away on his left foot. He's 55 metres out. They bought the dummy they shouldn't have over the head of Revolt. Getting back is Joseph. Trampled down there with Schneider. Well done, Joseph. Kept his head. Comes in short. Yeah, he's terrific. Austin out of defence then.
They've been good, the Blues.
You just have to hold on to the ball a little bit then, Austin, and wait for the Carlton players to spread.
Joseph's been fantastic. We've seen him play his role to perfection this season for the team, but every time that the competition has stepped up, he's been able to go with it.
Gardner won the tap, but only as far as Grigg. He's had a huge night, Grigg. 27 disposals.
There's virtually equal numbers over the field now. I think Carlton know that they've got to actually try and push numbers midfield and forward. And he's jumped off again.
They basically did that from three-quarter time. They decided they wanted to make it a man-on-man battle. He's saying there he can't.
Let him run.
He can't breathe. He's drinking blood at the moment.
So I guess if you're just thinking about can he get back, you think there might be one last roll for him. They're going to work on him again. Going to try and give him one more chance to get back out there.
Soberg seems like coming out of his mouth, not his nose. Yeah.
Cruiser. Through the legs of Ball.
Tried to give it a chance, didn't come out. Thanks, Lee.
He's got a bleeder.
What's the blood rule now? That the blood is visibly flowing. Because it's not just a little bit of blood.
Yeah.
Gardner won the tap. Ball was clever. Goddard, of course, with Judd off the ground. It's been Goddard's man. Revolt, and now to mop up Stevens. Normally a good user of the ball. Important decision to be made here right now. Held on to it well, but showed a lot of it. Garlick clever though. Got away and then hacked it forward. Gets it to about 50. Houlihan, well done. O'Halpin keeps it low. And Stevens on the end of it.
They kept coming.
Loose that time. Garland kept his feet over the footy, and it was important that Houlihan come and met it and actually took it first touch.
Gee, I'll tell you what, the Irishman, not sure if he absolutely meant it, but it was a beauty, wasn't it?
And what about Maxie Hudson? He was that close, and he's given Fev nothing all game.
Well, the roof's going to shake if he kicks this. It's coming back. He's got two. There isn't a kick.
Look, you've got to be happy with Fev tonight. He's kicked a couple of goals in the last quarter. When it's mattered, he's been able to plug away, maintain a positive attitude right through the match. Good call too, Dan. That was a great pass.
He's done exactly what every player's supposed to do.
Correct.
It's only because it's Fev we're talking about.
No, I know, but you've got to wrap him up because it's different to what we've seen on occasions.
Well, what a finish. He's got 2 goals. The margin is 4 points. Chris Judd is down at the interchange gates waiting to come on. The legend is growing. And the big finish is coming. 7 minutes remain. Cruiser knocks it down. Betts went to ground. Cruiser comes again. Montagna smothered off the boot. Forward come Carlton. Play on's the call. It was touched off the boot. Well, look out, Bannister. Oh, almost a decision for the umpire to make right there. Grigg, 28 possessions, drives it down towards full forward, comes off hands, not getting traction, at least initially was Goddard. Hand passes to Hayes, as cool as you like.
That was courage to go back into traffic. And great poise to get out of it.
And
Montagna's got the footy. Judd is back on the ground.
Taking the pressure.
From now on, he's Chris Blood as the ball goes down towards half forward. That's what they do in the WWE. On the outer side, O'Halpin, or rather Houlihan, run down and the ball bounces out of bounds.
We're talking about how loud it must be out there. That umpire calling play on was only 8 metres away from Bannister and he couldn't hear him.
Cruiser won the tap. Montagna. Revolt. Well done, Bauer. Important. Austin, gang tackled. Milne was in there, little toe poke. McQuarrie, Cruiser, very well. And then Jones and Cruiser's second effort, terrific. Armfield held up by McQuarrie.
It's outnumbering the opposition is important in any game, but in this situation, being able to have the extra number of the contest for when the ball spills from a tackle is the crucial point.
Carlton look more dangerous though, don't they?
Yep.
Here's Judd. Stevens. Carazzo, check side, kick, kept it in. Betts could be handy here. Well done, Baker.
Good play, Baker.
Such an important ball to win. Concedes. Graham. Back to Baker.
Oh, good pressure by Garlett. Didn't affect the kick though. Goddard around the outer side. Montagna. So dangerous in this situation. Goal beckons. And he's kicked the impossible goal. Oh, how is that? A knee buckler.
And how apt is it that Montagna and Dalsano, their hardest running players, their highest possession getters, they've been inside 50, 18 times between them. They've had 10 clearances. They've been great all night. Dalsano kicked St Kilda's last goal from a stoppage, and now Montagna with the opportunity to run forward to the play took his full 15 metres and finished off very well.
Well, that's a Bermuda Triangle, that spot for the Blues, isn't it? Del Santo and Montagna both from the same spot.
6 goals in the second half, and they've all been absolute beauties by St Kilda.
Yeah.
It was an important ball that was won on the half-back flank by Baker. Here's Brown, so the Blues not to be denied. Oh, Halpin's been a very important player tonight, and he's about to become more important. The Irishman, give us a juke.
Well, I think that's an example of thinking on your feet, because I don't think he knew what he was going to do then. Now, helping the ball fell back into his hands, and he wasn't sure, was he going to lay it off? Was he going to have a shot at goal? Eventually, the shot at goal was the option, and he finished. He's been a very valuable contributor down there tonight.
Well, Carlton were hoping for the Blake matchup prior to the game. They believed if O'Halpin got Blake, then he'd have too much agility for him. And that's exactly what happened then when the ball hit the ground.
Well, so far in this term, Carlton have had the quick answer.
Held too long in the tackle. Brendan Goddard.
Goddard to get the free. I can't remember a crowd quite like this one. Trapped under the roof. Amazing noise. Driven by Goddard inside the 50.
Mark it.
Cruiser knocked it down, should have marked it. Paddling towards the line. Milne can't keep it in. Was it out on the full? No, boundary throw in.
Ross Lyon was talking about giving that first goal, or that goal at quarter time away to Garlett, because Dawson didn't take possession, and that was a similar one with Cruiser there. You don't want to let the ball free.
Look out, Del Santo. Open goal square, wide of the mark. Stays in. Carlton have to deal with this one. Well, letting it run out is Austin.
When you've got a chance to get two hands to it in a game like this, you're not going to get another go.
But you got the height.
Emotions at fever pitch. That's why this is the greatest game in the world. Don't worry about that. Close to the boundary line, Milne. Right in his hip pocket is Joseph. And the umpire will do it again. 98 plays 94. Trying to help, but I doubt he can do much now. Tossed in inside the 50. Cruiser up in front, knocked it down. Down goes Joseph, and the umpire will ball it up.
And no spare man's back now. It's one-on-one all over the field, so it's real contest footy.
And I reckon Carlton were the instigators of that, and you see them kick quickly out of these clearance situations because they know they've got one-on-one contests in front of it. Whereas St Kilda is still trying to handball out of it.
Ruck work done by Gardner, Hayes and Judd. Remarkable the Judd's out there. Winning a clearance to Cruiser. Stevens running on to it. Every kick so important here. Graham gave it up. Stevens tried the old forearm, but Gilbert was up for it. And now Blake caught up, and then Stevens in very hard.
No. White ball. Jason, let it go. Wait. Jason.
You reckon there's a bit of adrenaline running in the players out there at the moment?
Yeah, they're not feeling any fatigue at the moment. They're just going.
Shepherd. Matthew Cruiser against you, Justin.
Geez, against Kaczynski for Shepherd.
Now, can they use the spread?
So Cruiser, it's an awkward looking kick. Baker didn't take the mark though. Bull searching for it, but he did okay. Did well to Jones. Jones normally not a great kick, but Kaczynski tracked it. Hayes on the up. Schneider
has a bounce. They're trying to stay perfect, the Saints. Not a perfect kick though. Wonderful by Bauer going back. Had to show the courage and did. Now something can develop from here. Carrazzo got it from Jamison. Back to Jamison. Can bypass a man out there in Del Santo. It bounces to Simpson. Simpson goes inside the forward 50. And Houlihan has marked about 45 metres out. The umpire pulling the man on the mark. Back a couple of paces.
These 50-metre line kicks, we've seen that many of them in the second half. We know St Kilda have been able to take these shots. Houlihan is normally a good converter.
Houlihan had a look at the clock, which doesn't show how long to go. Shows expired time. That's thinking though. We're down to just over 2 minutes. We're right behind Houlihan. St Kilda trying for their 12th victory. Houlihan trying to deny them. Has missed to the near side.
What was it, 3 Friday nights ago we saw Geelong and the Bulldogs?
Yes.
With the Cats hanging on with Brad Johnson's last kick for goal.
And this game even better than that one, Brucey.
Yep.
See St Kilda, the only time they've gone long this game and going to numbers.
Oh.
Revolt had a lot of it. Fisher got it from Montagna. And now Hayes. Hayes' kicks a good one. It's over the top. Schneider's onto it now. He's going to hold it up. Waiting for some troops to get back. And Dawson.
Little things. Keep on your feet.
He just bumped into Jamison, and Jamison went to ground, which enabled Dawson to get 20 metres clear.
He's only kicked 1 goal in his career, Dawson.
Yes, I don't think he's got the refined goal-kicking action.
But he's in the right spot. This is where they've been kicking their goals in the last quarter.
And he's feeling pretty good about his footy the last couple of months.
What an unlikely goal-kicking hero he'll turn out to be if it goes through. Never, ever going to miss.
What a great game.
Yes, hasn't a few years and a change of Guernsey done a lot for Zach Dawson. He has found himself a place in this St Kilda defence in this what might well be a 12-game winning run, and just hasn't spent much time forward 50, but he finished.
And Adam Snyder would have had the ball in his hands and he would have been thinking, take some time off, and then all of a sudden a teammate's 15 metres free. He would have had a rush of adrenaline knowing, geez, I'm going to hit him here, we're going to get a shot at goal.
Hansen knocks it down. Every time in this final term, Carlton have got a quick reply. They need one now. The clock, their enemy. Just over a minute to go. Brown taken down by Schneider. The umpire will ball it up, but it's at the wrong end of the ground for Carlton. They need 2 goals.
Takes a toll.
What a game. What a night. Umpires have done a good job. Bannister. Brown. No time for finesse now, and that could be it. Montagna has taken the mark. St Kilda control the ball. Players dropping back behind the ball, and there was no doubting what was happening next. Crowd don't like it, but gee, if you have to put up with this for 33 seconds after what we've seen tonight, I guess you'll take it. It has been a superb game. St Kilda will remain perfect.
That's because a couple of Carlton players are in St Kilda's forward 50. They have to get upfield and make it one-on-one at this part of the game.
Off hands, Revolt, Schneider, Judd still going after that football.
Yeah, that's a good decision because he actually didn't want to spit the ball out. He wanted to hold it in.
Judd, his 21st possession. St Kilda win. Yes, indeed.
Oh, what a night. Wonderful game. Saints hang on to that unbeaten run, stretch it to 12 over the Blues before a full house under the roof at Etihad. Friday night footy, 104 to 95.